Hey guys, it's Landon from RH. It's been a while since I did a training video, so I thought this would be a good opportunity. What I do in this video is try and help you use an approach that I use when you are tackling a big, complicated survey. And it could be different kinds of projects. So if you're an architect or a civil engineer or other consulting professional, you could use this same approach. But I teach surveyors, so I'm going to use a survey in this example. So we've got a survey we've been working on. It's a big survey. It's complicated. It's got a fairly aggressive timeline. And my team started working on it, but we had some other priorities come up and we had to move some resources around a little bit. So it's July 4th weekend. I need to jump in. My team's taking a 4-day weekend, but I need to jump in and keep pushing on the survey, try and get it, to 90% complete if I can over this 3 or 4 day period. And I'll be honest, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed. This is overwhelming. There's a lot to do. And so I thought, what a good opportunity to kind of teach others what happens when you've got a big, complicated project that you need to dive in on and you're just overwhelmed. Because I see other people, including my own team members, our team members here that struggle with that. They kind of seize up. They don't know what to do next. And it's understandable, right? It's a natural human thing. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to tackle that problem. So I've got this survey. It's in kind of a half-baked embryonic form of completion, and I really need to get this thing as close as I can to the finish line. So here's the first thing I did. I told the survey tech that was working on this, Cosette, before she left for the holiday weekend, I said, print out all the sheets, the finished sheets that you have. And she did. She gave them to me. They're right here. I got the sheets. So I went through here and I just kind of assessed, where we were at with the completion on each sheet. I kind of tried to wrap my hand around where were we at with the actual deliverable. Now I've got the Basecamp project up. Basecamp is the software that we use for project management here at RH. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to update our task lists, our to-do lists in Basecamp based on kind of my understanding where we're at with the deliverable. Then I'm going to go and look at what I think needs to be, what tasks need to be completed to finish this survey, and I have a diagram of that. And then we're going to update the task list. Okay, so what I did is I assessed the current status. Now I'm going to update the project management software. I'm going to determine what tasks need to be completed. And then I'm going to update the project management software one more time. And what I want when I'm done is I want just a list of stuff, of small tasks that I can just start nailing one by one by one by one. Because part of the reason you get overwhelmed on a big project like this is just the size of the project, the amount of work that needs to be done. So one of the things I've found very successful in my own career is just break big, nasty, gnarly problems up into small tasks, and you just start hammering on a task list. Start hammering on a to-do list. Okay, but in order to do that, we got to get the to-do list done. This is the first part. It's kind of like when I go to do dishes after a big party. My wife throws a big party because she's a social butterfly. And there's a huge mess in the kitchen. There's pots and pans everywhere and containers, and the sink's full and the trash is full. And the very first thing I do, don't freak out, is first thing I do is put all the food away. So I start with that task. Then I organize all the dishes into piles, right? Cups, silverware, plates. I get hot water in the pots and pans, right? Then I start doing the dishes. And when I'm done with the dishes, I wipe the counters. The last thing I do is clean the stove because I hate the stove. I hate cleaning the stove. Like, take a big gnarly problem, you break it up into tasks. That's what we're going to do here. Okay, so let's open our to-do. Now, this to-do is out of date. My team got busy last week. It's a holiday week, and they just didn't do a good job keeping this up to date. So we're going to come in based on what I know was done last week in the deliverable sheets. We're going to go in and try and mark off any tasks that we know are completed. So we have a list here for table A items. I think Cosette took a look at these two things, but I'm not sure if they're complete, so I'm going to leave them for now. Okay, boundary map. I know the subdivision map got COGO'd. Not sure that we've done the easements yet, and I know we haven't done the poultice. Okay, now I'm going to pull this up because I know it should come before table A items. Okay, the field crew, we prepared the package, we flew the UAV, we set the control, we searched for the monuments, 2 trips, we scanned the buildings. I'm not sure if we took a 360 video of the perimeter yet. I will probably do that with my site walk. We processed our data and exported points in TBC, and yesterday and today, I finished the UAV ortho. So we've knocked a bunch of that out. That's good. So the only thing I really have left is the video that I'm going to take when I walk the perimeter. Okay, so let me just update this real quick. 3 video of perimeters during sidewalk. I always sidewalk our Alta surveys. So save that. Okay, so that makes me feel good. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull this up to the top because field work gets done before everything else. Right, so then we have our base drawings. I know we have a point drawing. I know we have a boundary line work drawing. Now I'm going to leave this. Actually, I'm going to edit it. So I know my team has a boundary line work drawing, but I want to check it. So I'm going to say check and clean up boundary line work drawing. Okay, and we'll talk about this some more when we get to the diagram. All right, we took care of the UAV ortho today. I did that, and I created the UAV ortho drawing, so we can check that. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had to take a little break there. My partner called. So we're just cleaning up this checklist. So on the boundary and topo, I'm going to check the boundary line work drawing. I'm going to check the boundary anno drawing because that has those done. I'll check the building footprints and dimensions. She has that done. We don't have topo line work or anno and hatches yet. I'll do those next. We don't do a full topo on the Altas, but I'll need to do the call outs and some other labels. And then on the map drafting, she has the sheets set up, most of them. I'm going to leave the table A notes. They're written, but they need to be checked. The exception notes are not done. The boundary resolution notes are not done. The surveyor notes are not done. I'm gonna clean these sheets up a little bit, which you'll see in a minute. We'll clean these up. Okay, so we've got this cleaned up. We've checked off the completed tasks, and we've deleted some things and reorganized some things a little bit. So now let's go look at this other diagram I've got prepped. So give me a second and I'll pull that up.